Vatican fashion has arrived in New York City. 42 items from the Sistine Chapel's sacristy will be on display starting Thursday at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The exhibit is called Heavenly Bodies, Fashion and the Catholic Imagination. Many items on display have never been seen outside of the Vatican, including vestments, zucchettos, even a pair of shoes belonging to Pope John Paul II. So, how did this exhibit come about? Bishop Paul Tighe joins us from Rome. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Lauren. Delighted to be with you.
The Met worked with the Vatican for 2 years on this exhibit. Why did the Vatican get involved?
I think what happened was that the Vatican early on were approached by people from the Met, and it took a little while for the people from the Met to establish that this was a very serious project, that the intent of the project of mounting the exhibition was to explore the relationship immediately between the Catholic imagination and fashion, but more generally about the relationship between art, beauty and faith. And I spoke with my boss, Cardinal Ravasi. Cardinal Ravasi is from Milan, has always been interested in the relationship between the world of faith and the world of fashion. And he began then very clearly to offer his support for the project. And in practical terms, that turned out to be an invitation for him to write an introduction to the catalogue. I think that introduction is well worth reading. It's available online and explains to people why the relationship between faith and fashion, and then more generally between art and beauty, is so important for the Church.
The exhibit is filled with what some people are calling Vatican bling. Tiaras encrusted with thousands of diamonds, emeralds, rubies, papal cloaks and vestments with golden embroidery so fine that it took 16 years to produce them. So isn't this a little bit of a contradiction to Pope Francis's message of style and simplicity and humility? Did the Pope give his okay to this?
I think what it shows is that fashion is always related to a particular time. The tiara we're talking about and the garments that are featured in the exhibition are products of another time. And the spirit of the time was to offer to God the greatest creations of human beauty, to present to God what we could in our Catholic imagination produce of beauty and of worth and of value, and to put it before God. I think in our current time we think of things differently. We think also about the importance of simplicity, the importance of service of the poor. So these are objects that we wouldn't use today, that we wouldn't create today, but they are objects that have their own value and speak of that important sense in the human person of giving glory and value to God and worth to God in all we do.
So the Pope must have okayed this. He must have said that this is appropriate.
No, I don't think this would have reached the level of the Pope. I think this would have been handled at the level of the Pontifical Household and the Office for Ceremonies of the Holy See. I don't think this would have reached the level of the Pope.
Very good. Thousands of tourists visit the Met every single day and are going to see this exhibit. What do you hope they learn about the Catholic Church?
I hope that in a good sense that people will come to this, and if they read and if they engage seriously with the exhibits, they will be, I think they'll first be stunned by the beauty of some of the exhibits. They'll also see how maybe the Catholic imagination, the fact that we grow up as Catholics in a world that's enriched by celebrations, by liturgies with colour, by smoke, by incense, by candles, that gives us a way of seeing more and seeing beauty in a world that breaking out of the ordinary. And I hope that this exhibition will help people to think a bit more about, to see beyond the surface and to see maybe the intent of the great artists to glorify God and to celebrate God's nearness and closeness to us.
Bishop Paul Tighe of the Pontifical Council for Culture, thank you so much for joining us. Fascinating exhibit. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Lauren. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The theme carried over to the glitziest affair on New York's social calendar, last night's mega gala at the Met. A-listers were told to come to the annual over-the-top party in their Sunday best, and many attempted to channel the theme of Catholicism. Let's take a look. Pop singer Rihanna, who co-chaired the event, arrived in an ornate papal mitre and a bejeweled mini dress and cloak. Madonna, who performed her song Like a Prayer, wore a tiara and a black gown with a cross embossed in the bodice. Chadwick Boseman, the star of the blockbuster movie Black Panther, wore an immaculate white suit with gold Baroque crosses. It was a captivating outfit. And actress and singer Zendaya came in silver armor she says was inspired by Joan of Arc. Joining us now is Canadian fashion designer Justina McCaffrey. Welcome to the program. Some of the outfits showed a lot of skin. We're not showing those pictures. You're Catholic. Tell me what you thought about the outfits. Were they disrespectful?
I thought that there were a few dresses that were disrespectful. Some of them were really beautiful. I really liked the way that Brooke Shields pulled off her outfit. It was tasteful and beautiful. It was tailored. There's one dress, it was created by Vera Wang, very much like a wedding dress in a sense, but there was embossed, printed cherubs all over the dress, and it was very ethereal. And there was also another one by Ralph Lauren that I really liked. I thought the Vera Wang and the Ralph Lauren dresses both created this sort of the designer trying to achieve heaven through their design, and I think that was really cool for me to watch.
Bishop Tighe, we just spoke to him from the Vatican, said that it exposes, that this exhibit exposes the beauty of the church to the secular world. Through fashion, do you think that also happened last night?
Absolutely. I am really happy that the Metropolitan Museum chose this theme as their theme for the year, for the Costume Institute.
As a designer, you incorporate your Catholic faith into your dresses. Tell us about that.
A little bit, as much as I can. I kind of push the envelope a little bit. I name my dresses after, like, the mysteries of the Rosary, for example. You know, I have one that's Exultate and Jubilate, and some of my American friends who maybe aren't Catholic, they say, "Oh, where's that Jubilate dress?" So I think that's kind of funny. I've always used Catholic imagery. I think that it was part of my branding for a long time. And at one point I wanted to sew in rosaries in all the dresses, but we couldn't quite figure out how to do that and get the dresses through customs, because the rosaries I wanted were beautiful little stainless steel rosaries. So anyway, I tried.
Why is it important for you to do this, to reflect faith in fashion?
I think in the case of wedding dresses, they're made of white. We use a sort of accent color of blue in the corsets of our dresses, and I think that the blue reminds me of Our Lady, and it's just a direction that I feel comforted in. And I don't know why. It's just one of those things that I just feel propelled to move in that direction when I make dresses, and I like doing it that way. So I don't know. It just makes sense to me. It's just my sensibility, and I think every designer has their own sensibility, and this is what mine is.
Thank you so much for joining us, Canadian fashion designer Justina McCaffrey. What an interesting idea to put something Marian in a wedding dress. It actually is very interesting. For all of us here at EWTN News Nightly, to all of you around the world, thank you for watching. I'm Lauren Ashburn. Let's keep in touch online. Follow me at Lauren Ashburn on Twitter and Lauren Ashburn EWTN on Facebook. Good night, and God bless you.